All right, so this is today's project, and we have got a backyard here. And the problem with this backyard is, now first of all, this is a subdivision, and for a subdivision, these houses, these are really big lots for this subdivision. A lot of times in a lot of these subdivisions now here in my area, the houses are stacked really close together and the backyards aren't very big. But the way they did this division, the lots are really big, the houses are spaced pretty far apart. And so when they did the site work and landscaping here, they sodded all this right here, and it's actually really nice. Whoever did this part of it did a really good job, and that was probably the landscaper. But whoever did the site work, looks like what they did was and I don't know how much you're going to be able to see this on the camera, I don't know if it really shows up, but what happens here is this grade goes down like this, and it kind of swales here in the middle, but it wasn't graded correctly because it's holding water right in here, where this water should be going back into this swampy area back here. And I think that's like right there where that hedgerow is, that's a ditch or a low area. And that water should be going back there into that kind of swamp, and that's kind of what it looks like it's supposed to do. But this is all low through here, and then it looks like whoever did the site work here tried to save a little bit of money, and they pushed a bunch of the root mat and roots and stuff right here and just kind of mounted up a big pile of junk. And it's just kind of, the dirt in it is good, the dirt itself is good, it's probably decent topsoil, but it's got a bunch of pieces of roots and sticks, and it wasn't graded very well. You can see it's all kind of just mounded here, and there's big pieces of stuff in it. And the owner actually had to bush hog this, and it's just not even and graded. And he wants to bring all of this up to a better elevation to get this water to flow back this way. And so what happened here was he contacted me about bringing him a load of dirt in my little dump truck, which is about 6 yards. There's the load. And then he kind of explained to me what he wanted to do, and I was like, well, if you need that much dirt, that's not really what I'm specialized in doing. As you can see, this drop off from this concrete driveway pad here, how much drop off there is. And what's going to end up happening is this water coming down this way, and you can already see it's starting to erode all this out. So this needs to be filled up. The grade doesn't necessarily have to be exactly up to the top of this, but it needs to be somewhere in here, so where you can just drive a lawnmower off and start mowing the lawn through here and keep this maintained. So in order to kind of save some money here in the dirt, I want to rake some of this dirt back this way and kind of bring this elevation up a little bit, so we can, this dirt back here is usable. Instead of having to build all this back up to that grade, bring this dirt, scrape it back this way, kind of bring this up to a rough grade, and then we can kind of, doesn't have to be anything perfect, just kind of bring it back up a little bit, and then we can shoot some elevations with the laser, and then take some measurements, shoot some elevations, do a little math, and try to figure out exactly how much dirt he's going to need to bring this up to the elevation in here. Most of our problems are kind of in this area and then along that back line. This over here is not too bad. So that's the plan. I don't have the skid steer, it's still at Flint getting worked on, so I brought the Mini over here, and the Mini's kind of going to work better for this anyway, because I'm probably going to have to take the thumb and pick out some of these roots and sticks and stuff so he can burn that. But the rest of it, all this grass and stuff, is all going to get covered over with dirt anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just going to rake it back, and that's what we're going to do. So sorry that took so long to kind of explain, but kind of give you guys an idea of what we're going to do. I don't think I'm going to mulch any of that down right now, unless he wants me to later. But so this thing's warmed up, got it full of grease. Let's start digging. So that turned out pretty well, all things considered. The homeowner is very happy with this, considering what he had, and he's very, very happy. Now, this is not perfect. This is not anything close to finished grade. It's not anything close to finished, period. What it is cleaned up and cleaned out of all the crap that the site guy had pushed into this back and mounted up. And there's all the crap, at least the stuff that was big enough that had to come out. That's all of that. That's everything we pulled out. Stumps, roots, all kinds of crap right there. And then that was all the, like the hay grass and stuff that started to clump up over there in that corner as I started to back drag all of that out with the blade. After I kind of scraped it out with the bucket, I was back dragging it out, and the grass started separating from the dirt and started to clump up. So I took the thumb, separated all of that, so all of that got put there too. So just talking with the owner, I'm gonna come over here tomorrow with the laser, and we're gonna shoot some elevations and try to figure out, roughly speaking, how much dirt he needs. And I've kind of told him we've got really like two options based on what his budget is. If he doesn't have enough money for the amount of dirt that we need, which the dirt in here could be substantial depending on how high he wants to bring these elevations up in here, I told him that just to give him a passable yard for now, for a more reasonable amount of money, I could bring the skid steer over here, take the bucket, clean this up a little better, and then I can rent a Harley rake for the day, come through here, Harley rake all of this and Harley rake all of this, clean it up all through here, get all this weeds and all this undesirable stuff. This isn't even grass, these are just weeds. Get all this churned up, get rid of all these little imperfections in the ground, all these lumps and stuff, churn all this up all the way through there where those trees are at, Harley rake all of that, Harley rake all of this. That would clean up some more of these little roots and sticks and stuff in this and smooth it out a little better, and then we could just seed it and seed the hell out of it. And then at that point he'd have at least a usable yard for now until, you know, he gets within his budget to bring in all the dirt that he wants. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I've also got to check with my dirt guy if he wants to go the dirt route, if we can actually bring the triaxles in through the street up there. Can they actually drive back in here and dump the dirt that for the amount of dirt that we need? So a lot of unknowns in here, but he's very happy with how this turned out and how this looks. I also took that little bit of dirt that I dropped off yesterday and just did a quick little grade right here up next to this pad off the end, because the water's coming down off this driveway and falling over here and starting to wash all this away. So just took the mini really quick and just took that dirt, spread it out real quick, and then just went over it with the tracks to compact it as best I could. So now that will at least keep the water from undermining this pad right here for now. But yeah, this looks a hell of a lot better. It's not perfect. What we ended up kind of having to do here is how I think the water is going to go. This kind of goes all this way, and then from about, there's a crown right there. So this water from about where this crown is this way would go down and kind of go into this swale here and go back to that corner there, and then everything that from this crown here would go back towards that edge and go back into that corner right over there. So either way, it's all kind of going either like back into that corner to this edge and then back into that corner back there. So that's kind of where we want all the water to go. Before, he had ponding right in here, so I tried to fill that up as best I could to keep that water up, and hopefully it'll start to drain off that way. So pretty good day for the mini. I mean, if I'd have had the skid steer with a 4-in-1, that really would have been the thing to bring in here. But the skid steer's in the shop, and I don't own a 4-in-1, at least a 4-in-1 with teeth, so you could rake this. But I don't have a 4-in-1, and I don't do enough of this work to justify buying a 4-in-1 at the moment. So This thing did a great job. The float function on this blade for finishing this off right here and getting as smooth as I did is just absolute money. That's what I love about this Kubota. It has this float function, and that's one thing that the Deere doesn't have on it that I don't like about the G models. They don't have a float function, and this thing does, and it's not skid steer quality, but it's pretty dang close as far as getting this somewhat, you know, finished off here. There's no real big like dips and anything like that in it, where you would see the blade gouge or anything like that. It's all fairly smooth, and it's, like I said, it's not final grade. But you know, the original goal was to just kind of get all this stuff raked out, get the crap out, and then bring the new dirt in here and get the new dirt to the actual grade that we want, and just get this cleaned up and get it going back that way for now. So anyway, that looks good. Homeowner's, like I said, he's super happy with everything, and we got this done in about 6.5, 7 hours in here, digging this out, separating it all, and getting it cleaned up. So he's happy, I'm happy, and everybody's happy. So we'll come back tomorrow, we'll shoot some grades and see how much dirt we need, and either we're going to come in here and Harley rake this and lay grass, or we're going to bring in a hell of a lot of dirt and try to fix it. So all right, that's that. I'm out of here. I'm gonna load this thing up. Hope you guys are having a great week. It's a Monday, and I will check you guys later. I am out. Bye everybody.